May the 4th be with you, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And tonight we're going to be talking about a little Chris.R. Notarile joint. That's right, it's Whatever Happened to Mace Windu, a fan film by Chris.R. Notarile, our May the 4th retrospective podcast. Okay, Dragon, so go ahead and set the stage for this one, buddy. It's all you.
All right, so of course, the wonderful fan filmmaker over at known for his work on Blinky500 and Blinky Productions as a whole, filmmaker Chris.R. Notarile, who we've had on. We've talked to the man. We've talked about his work. Man makes a mean fan film, to say the least. I think we can all agree on that. So, every year, May the 4th, what we like to do is used to be kind of biannual because usually there was like, hey, remember when Star Wars movies used to come out around December? That doesn't happen anymore. But every May the 4th, you bet your bottom dollar we're going to do something Star Wars related, whether it be talking about a documentary, a fan film, or a ride like Star Tours. So in this case, in the selection of films, it's kind of funny. We had been talking a lot about usually Darth Vader related fan films, like we had done Chad Vader, we had done um, we had like the Buzz Lightyear versus Darth Vader thing, which I loved, and then we had the most, I forget if this was last year or the year before, we had um we had the shards. I think it's called Shards of the Past. We had basically kind of like we saw Darth Vader in the chamber, where he heals in, kind of the back the tank sort of private thing on Mustafar. That whole thing. Anyway, it was really well done.
Don't let him stay in the BAFTA tank too long. We'll go to a flashback.
Is before it now became infamous. That's remember the really cool idea that Darth Vader in his downtime, he's got to sit in that back the tank. It's going to look all haunting and everything.
Anyway. Dragon, it's all flashback.
Anyway, well, that was a nightmare, but yes, now it's all flat.
All right.
Point being, so Notarile, he had made a Star Wars fan film, which he had not really, a lot of people, the Star Wars fan film was a lauded thing. Like Lucasfilm approved of all the Star Wars fan film back in the day. Like Star Wars fan films are like the most common for a while, they were the most common fan films before the superhero fan film really kind of maybe debatably overtook that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, because again, it was lauded and it was like they provide sound effects and everything. Point being, so Notarile, the guy does all these fan films. So impressively, I think only the one Star Wars film, to my recollection. The point being,
that's actually kind of crazy, and I really respect him for that. And of course, he's a man who's known for a deep cut.
So that's the thing. So the way he kind of spiced this up with kind of the the Notarile touch was, okay, I'm going to take your average Star Wars fan film, which everyone and their mother at this point in time, 2017 by this point, has done, and I'm going to spice it up and take, okay, what's a Star Wars character that not a lot of people talk about not a lot of people have talked about. Well, let's go with Mace Windu, who again is well known, but let's be honest, aside from a few episodes of the Clone Wars. Not a lot to him, just outside of it's Sam Mother effing Jackson, with the BMF
purple lightsaber, baby,
with BMF carved into the hilt. So, regardless, So basically, it was like, okay, let's take that and like, what's the other big thing Sam Jackson is known for? Well, his works with Quentin Tarantino. So what if I melded the two? What if I did kind of like a Tarantino mashup with Star Wars by proxy of Mace Windu? And essentially, what happened was he Notarile had two ideas for Star Wars fan films. The Mace Windu thing, which essentially ends when he has like his big line to the dying Imperial officer, and then the Vader portion. The Vader portion.
Okay, that's interesting that you note that, because honestly, the one nitpick that I have with this thing at all is that it literally feels like, like obviously they're strung together. It's the same story, but like stylistically, they're pretty different.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So basically, Notarile had like two ideas, and he just decided to blend them together because you have some obvious crossover with, well, we're talking about Vader, and I want to do a Vader fan film, so why don't I just kind of put the two together? And remember, so this is 2017, so this is after, which I believe it came out in December, so it's really after it's after Rogue One, which basically sparked the imagination. Can we make Darth Vader menacing again?
But it was before The Last Jedi, and the fandom was still innocent.
Yeah. So you see the thing, though, is the fact the ending of Rogue One was a thing of beauty with Vader. It was fantastic. Yeah. They got the imagination brewing and basically wanted to do something like the Batman Dante short, which is like, let's build up like the visage of the terrifying character, but let's do it with Vader and a la, Rogue One. So yeah, ironically now in real life, so I don't know how official this is. I'm just it's all speculation as far as I'm concerned until I see him pop up in the thing. But ironically now, there's talk of Mace Windu returning in Boba Fett season 2, assuming that gets made.
Oh God, no,
Now you got to
not
admit
Boba
there is
Fett
an interesting.
season 2.
You got to admit there's an interesting story if he does come back because he killed his father. You got to admit that's kind of an interesting idea.
Dragon, I would just rather him pop up in Obi-Wan.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't trust anything, but we'll see. Yeah.
Do we need a Book of Boba Fett season 2? Way to bring the mood down.
Well, I mean, it's the Mace Windu. It was like an announced thing recently. I think like a rumor mill sort of thing. Like, hey, if maybe Mace Windu will come back in Boba Fett season 2, which we did speculate when talking about the first season.
All right, fair enough.
My point being, whether or not it's necessary or not, that's a little hanging chat of like, yeah, if Mace Windu were, it brings about the question, what the heck happened to Mace Windu, which is answered in this very fan film.
All right, and also we have AJ Zyla, aka Deadpool.
No, Dadpool.
Oh, Dadpool. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's actually a good pun. That's a good pun. Dadpool. Yeah. I appreciate that. He says Chris is the man. And indeed. And
what's
Dragon,
the man up to, Tiki?
What?
What's the man up to these days?
I'm so glad you asked, Dragon. All right, so currently, Chris.R.Notarile, the man, the myth, the fan film legend himself, is not just making a fan film, he's making a feature film, Dragon.
Get out.
Called Random Acts of Violence. From the looks of it, it looks to be an homage to all things 80 slasher movies, but I'm sure the man himself could tell us more about it. But yeah, it looks like they're knee-deep into production. I'm not sure if the shooting is finished yet. If the shooting isn't finished, it's probably like knee-deep into it. Really looking forward to that. That's why we didn't really, honestly, Dragon, we could have extended an invitation to him to be on this, but Chris, I gotta say, I respect how busy you are right now. So I'm just like,
I mean,
you know what? We'll give you a shout out. I'll give you a shout out on YouTube. We'll make sure this thing gets around. But yeah, you do you, buddy. Like I want to make sure that we're not taking time away from your production.
Well, before the show, I don't know if he's here now. Possibly, he's probably not. But I looped him into we were doing this, so he he gave us the thumbs up. So he approves of this. So I mean, we know that much. Regardless. Yeah, I wanted to have him on, but I knew for a fact because I asked him previously, just some other related stuff, and yeah, he had been I think I invited him on for Moon Knight essentially, and the fact is he's in the he's in the throes of production right now, so he's definitely even if he were free, he'd probably be exhausted from filming.
Yeah, totally, which is totally.
So that's the thing. So we didn't make a firm invitation ahead of time because I knew he's still he basically started filming, I believe, at the top of May or maybe the last week of April. I don't forget, it's gonna be like a week or two long shoot. The point being, the man is busy, but he's making art.
Feature. All right, and I have the link to the Facebook page for that production. Again, it's called Random Acts of Violence. You can check it out in the video description. You can also check out the link to this fan film in the video description if for some reason you're clicking on this and you have not seen it yet. All right, and with that in mind, Dragon, I think we're just about ready to get to the recap.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so what would a Tarantino-esque project be without a really stellar needle drop to start things off, Dragon?
I want to know Notarile's best quote is that the man picks perfect music for every single one of his fan films. He just does. He's got kind of Tarantino ears, one could say. He does.
Totally.
Yeah, so he's some great song choices. I love that. This is gonna sound so minor, but I just love this the 70s Tarantino text that's on the screen, like the little TM.
No, it's I don't think it's minor at all, Dragon. I think that's purely it's a Tarantino thing. It's a big part of his style.
I just like the 70s angle because also it bleeds into Star Wars is very rooted in the 70s, so it's all relative ultimately. The two franchises,
especially the giant title, and then the trademark Blinky500's.
That's the thing. I love the little trademark thing. That's full Tarantino.
That is classic Tarantino right there. The big title that fills up the whole screen.
So we have essentially, kind of like essentially almost like the opening of Django, one could say, where you see just kind of men you kind of
Okay,
trucking along the
I'm
road.
chomping at the bits to get to our Christoph Waltz guy, but we have
I
to
know.
build
I'm
to
I'm looking forward
it.
to it. So we have the Imperial officer and two stormtroopers kind of marching their way across, and they come across a man in a robe, in a ceremonial Jedi meditative circle, which is all the
Okay,
rage.
so first of all, Dragon, I want to acknowledge just how good the location scouting is on this.
Do you know what the location is?
No, I do not.
Well, here's the thing. I'm assuming the whole landscape is the same. Here's the thing. I know later on we're in the cave exactly where we are. I believe this is the exterior of it. I could be wrong on that, but we are in Bronson Canyon, aka where 60s Batman was filmed, the Batcave.
Oh wow, okay.
The original Bat. Every time they left, they drove out, like 14 miles from Gotham, Bronson Canyon.
Nice, nice.
So we're in Bat Country here, folks.
Okay, we have a CMC Movie Studio says this is basically a Blinky500 fan page, LOL. Yes, it is, sir. And it's also a Just Giglet fan page, and we applaud our fan filmmakers on
I
this
wonder if he's talking
on
about
this
the link,
channel.
or I wonder if he's talking about the link or us.
What?
I wonder, no, you linked him to the Facebook page. I wonder if he's talking about the Facebook page or us.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure. That's true. That's true. Well, point being, with this channel, Dragon, I think one of the things that we do pride ourselves in is kind of like giving a spotlight to fan filmmakers. We've been in that game for a while. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He says, love you guys. Dragon, correct my ignorance. I'm just going to ask, like, do you know if C Movie Studios is Chris by any chance?
I mean, again, he knows that the thing's going on. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't just be logged in as Blinky500, but I mean,
Chris,
I
if
don't
it's
know.
you, by all means, like, let us know, just so there's no like awkward, like, I don't know, it could be.
Well, look, if he wants a pseudonym, he can have a pseudonym. It's like the author in the corner of the writing class. He can do what he wants. I don't care. It's
All
fine.
right, that's fair. That's fair. The author at the corner of the writing class. I like that analogy.
He's the guy. He's wearing the sunglasses. Like, don't pay attention to me. See, he's not Chris. There we go.
He's not Chris. Okay. The C in your name got it mixed up. I'm sorry. I was just assuming, like, wait, is C Movie Studios his non-Blinky, like his Blinky500, his fan film studio, and he's using it? That's what I thought at first, Dragon. I thought he was using a different banner for his feature film. Anyways, I digress. This is a tangent.
Getting back on point. So the point being, we have, again, very much like we're seeing nowadays, a Baby Yoda on the little rock. We have kind of a little Jedi rock circle around Mace Windu here.
Right. Meditating. And so with that in mind, I mean, like, I had no idea about the Batman tie-in. Like, that's freaking awesome for sure. But Dragon, just in general, it looks like an awesome setting. I love how they put the work into getting the rocks. I mean, I assume that rock circle wasn't just there. I assume they had to like do some production design on it.
Yeah, I mean, again, there has to be like a pattern like built in there somehow. Like, I don't know like how many rocks like they got, or like how they found the rocks there and they arranged them. I don't know, but it's impressive.
Yeah, totally. Very much kind of, it just goes to show like kind of the power of fan filmmaking, where it's like literally just some rocks can make for a great memorable set piece and really pull you into the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, Dragon, I'm so sorry. I have to pull out this fucking Survivor quote, just given the circumstances. Hey guys, we got some rocks over here. We could build a pretty decent shelter just using rocks.
See, I much prefer the whole I throw a rock at him. That's my preference. Anyway,
I feel like the whole like you have that and I have we could build a pretty decent shelter just using rocks.
But let's be honest, the best one of all is like probably Notarile in the corner going. All I got was a rock, and I had to work in the movie. I had to work in my fan film.
All right.
Anyway, so that is like the best rock reference. The whole just like, and I got a rock. Works for so many situations. Anyway, so
Dwayne the Rock Johnson is in the corner, just giving a thumbs up, like, "Hey guys, I'm here too."
Okay, now that's the. Okay, we got to refocus here. That's the SNL joke I want to see. I want to see The Rock wearing the Charlie Brown sheet. That's what I want to see. Like, there's an SNL Halloween sketch.
No. Or what if...
Okay, come on. We're spending too much time on this. Go on.
Hold on. I just this mental image is like, what if it's like an SNL skit, the kids are trick-or-treating, and one of them just like, oh, okay, you get Gary Busey, you get Pauly Shore, and you get The Rock. I get The Rock. All right, anyways, Jesus.
Anyway.
I killed it. I killed that joke dead.
I'm sorry, man. You kind of did, yeah.
I killed that joke dead just like Anakin killed all those younglings.
Yeah, even the younglings, yeah. Okay, so they find this
tendency to do that, Dragon. I am sorry.
They find this very, obviously Jedi man just kind of sitting there meditating. My headcanon, by the way, is that Mace Windu, in kind of recovering from what is happening, because we don't know how much time has passed at this point. All we know is Vader's suited up, and it's before Rogue One. So it's so assumedly, like however much time has passed, for Windu, at least enough time to get a robot hand, as we're gonna learn. I think he's been. I think it's going to be the thing that we're going to see how Obi-Wan handles this as well, with the whole how are the Jedi's adapting to their exile and to kind of the self-imposed exile and just kind of hiding and all that sort of stuff. Where the hunt's on for the Jedi's, but also I think Mace Windu is trying to center. I think he's really angry and upset about everything that's happened. And the Jedi way is like, no, you can't be angry, upset, you become another Vader. So I think he's just trying. That's why he's like approaching this situation so calmly. Like he's been dealing with his anger. I think that's why he's meditating.
He knows for a freaking fact that he can take these guys down without any effort at all.
Oh yeah,
it's just like he also knows it's a slippery slope. It's
that's what I like to think. I like to think that that's why he's meditating. Regardless, so let's talk about. So they order this suspect to identify himself, and then he unhoods himself and he reveals himself to be Mace. Essentially, he looks a lot like Mace Windu. So let's talk about Alfred E. Rutherford. So he's the actor they have playing Mace Windu here. So this guy, here's the thing. So there's always a challenge and a curveball with every fan film in that you have. See, here's the thing. Blinky500 is so good at just flawless casting, and here I think it's similar, but I don't think it's as on the money. Here's the thing. It's a thing that can make or break a fan film when you have someone cast who, again, it's hard to find someone who looks exactly like Sam Jackson. Okay, let's be honest. It's like a nigh impossible task.
My take on this guy is I feel like he's enough emulating the Sam Jackson energy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think the biggest positive I can give with his performance is that by all means, I don't think he's at all trying to do a Sam Jackson impression. I feel like he's
exactly
like in some ways he's trying to make it his own.
So that's where I come down on Tiki's. I think what Notarile kind of did here is like, okay, there's no way I'm going to find someone who can exactly be Sam Jackson. If so, it'd be like the Nick Fury problem people have had at some of the Marvel movies, where it's like, well, how much of it is just Sam Jackson with an eye patch versus Nick Fury? Like Winter Soldier, that's Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 2, it's more Sam Jackson. So I think he just found the perfect balance of exactly what you said there, where again, he is playing it more Mace Windu, who, let's face it, is kind of an ill-defined character outside like an episode or two of Clone Wars. So by doing that, we add layers, but we also add like a little bit, like a little hair. There's like a hint of Sam Jackson there with like kind of a Tarantino Sam Jackson, though,
Definitely Tarantino Sam Jackson for sure, which is the younger Sam Jackson, which makes sense since this actor is obviously a lot younger than Sam Jackson was when he filmed these movies.
That's what I'm saying. Not like the most 100% one-to-one like look-alikeness, but again, in terms of servicing the character, I
honestly feel like if it was a young Mace Windu, this dude would be perfect.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, because he is cat. Yeah, there's definitely that at play here. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I just like the biggest problem with Sam Jackson as Mace Windu in the prequels is that, again, the guy was kind of like a sphinx. He didn't really, he was like the Jedi principle, like to the nth degree, which people would overanalyze. Like, oh no, he has to be that way. Well, I don't know. Maybe Sam Jackson just didn't get good direction. I don't know. He just really.
Someone not getting good direction on a Star Wars prequel? Nah, it can't be that, Dragon. It can't be that. That's what I'm heard of.
Yes.
All right.
But you take my point though, right? So
yeah.
We've kind of found a way to kind of like through the Tarantino lens, we brought some life into the character. Anyway.
All right. Also, I gotta just shout out this super kind comment from CM Studios, or C Movie Studios. I'm sorry. I love y'all channel. You have a good discussion debate. Keep up the good work and grind. Thank you so much, man. That honestly means a lot. So I really appreciate that.
Got the warm and fuzzies all over. Very nice.
All right.
So anyway, so let's see. So let's see. So again, one of the troopers, by the way, is our director, is Chris.R. Notarile, the one who's saying, who is the Scrug, or, the Skell or something.
Uh-huh.
He was just like this, they're basically getting really antsy with him, we're having some great Tarantino shots here. It's like, we're cutting between the faces and the trigger fingers, like, oh boy, something's going to happen. You see that measured, like, response of, like, a nothing more than a simple traveler, which again, a little parallels to Obi-Wan Kenobi with this Obi-Wan show coming up. How do you feel about his wardrobe?
I don't know. I like it.
Here's the thing. I mean, I think it's fine.
I like the jacket. I like that it's. I feel like it's got just a little bit of Tarantino flair to it, which is appropriate given the what Notarilli's going for.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, you just look at it from Disney, you think, okay, why didn't we just go with the robe? Why did we give him like a vest and everything?
Well, first of all, Mace Windu's trademark look is the robe, and he's like clearly trying not to look like Mace Windu. So there's that right off.
I know that's. So I'm saying that's the thing that kind of dawned on me, where it's like, this is like, yeah, well, clearly, he's got the robe, but underneath that, it's like, yeah, why are we giving him like a vest and everything? But I don't know, like on the road, it's just like, yeah, he would be in hiding. He would try to like change up his look. He's a drifter right now. Mm-hmm. It makes sense. I'd say it's kind of like a weird, like you have to divorce it for a second and realize, oh yeah, there's a logic to this, of course.
Yeah, I actually really like it.
Yeah. I mean, I really, as it.
I mean, it's simple, but like it, it's. I think it works. It's basically just like a nice looking jacket, but I think it fits enough with Star Wars.
I was saying like it kind of like it stood out initially, and then until like the big battle scene, like okay, well we need something from the fight, and then we're again the whole logic of these boys trying to divorce himself from Mace Windu, so it makes anyway. Mm-hmm. So let's see. So again, saying he's nothing more than a simple traveler. He removes his hood, and again, you both do well to let me be. And then oh boy, he walks out of the circle, which okay, Zen is gone. He's walked out of the circle. Bad stuff's gonna happen now, and it's getting all antsy. Enter our Christoph Waltz, inspired Imperial officer.
Okay, my God, this dude is just like doing the best freaking Christoph Waltz impression, and also just hats off to Chris himself for just writing. Like, it's so spot on what a Christoph Waltz character would say in a Tarantino movie, Dragon, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I love it.
It's so spot on. Like, it's like rhythm by rhythm. It's like exactly the same sort of cadence that both of his major Tarantino roles have.
You know me, I do love me Christoph Waltz in a Tarantino movie. He's so good. I love that actor, period. Especially, and Tarantino gave him some of his best writing in both movies.
But you know what I mean? Like Tarantino just has such a specific rhythm and cadence to writing him that I think Chris just nailed.
Yeah, so the actor, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of his name here, so forgive me, actor, but it's Cyprian.
His name is Actor.
I think, just in case I'm going to butcher it, I think it's Cyprian Cosma. So Mr. Cosma here, doing a great job with his waltz here.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, just very Inglorious-esque.
Pardon me, madame. Would you like to waltz? God, I'm sorry.
But seriously, though, he was doing very much like the Nazi from Inglorious, particularly.
I feel like it's a perfect blend of, like, obviously the character is the Nazi from Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
But I honestly think the voice is a little bit more Schultz.
It is. I know. It's kind of a marriage of that. But
yeah, that's what I love about it.
With the Nazi, though, it goes hand in hand with the Imperial officers and kind of the vibe they're going for in Star Wars. So, again, it's kind of a marriage made in heaven there, too. With, like, you have that sort of thing. And there's a tension there where I'm thinking from the beginning, he's smart enough to put two and two together. Like, yeah, he's still wearing that robe. And I'm pretty sure he's in the Vader said he's here. I'm pretty sure that's our guy.
Uh-huh.
Then obviously, as Mace Windu kind of pokes the bear, it's like the full confirmation. I'm pretty sure he's smart enough.
It's just just like the pleasantries, Dragon. Pleasantries. You and I live for the villainous pleasantries.
I always love the pleasantries. And again, it's like the opening where it's the pleasantries despite the fact that he very much knows. Like, he knows what's going on despite him playing dumb here.
Uh-huh.
It's like, no, we're all friends here. You must forgive my men. They're a little overzealous.
Okay, that right there is very much Django Christoph Waltz.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. things are a little tense right now, so just keep your
Uh-huh,
hands up
uh-huh.
and don't say anything. I'll
Oh
talk to
God!
you
Again, like just the voice and the voice and the writing just go hand in hand, Dragon. It's a symphony.
after. Sure. So let's see. So basically, he says we're looking for Mace Windu, and then he says, "Well, let me set the record straight. I'm not him. Good day." But they do require they
But
want.
I love this whole like now my man. I'm sure that this honestly reminds me of like a NoHo Hank thing from Barry or
He's so
something.
polite about this.
You
Just
know,
the
it's
whole
like
like,
now I'm sure that my men did not ask about it in the right way, but it's like a request is a request. So yes, would you please present your identification?
yep, certainly could have been handled better, but a request is a request.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Hit again, just hit the waltz. Just like the waltz stuff is definitely the standout of the writing for sure. So
Totally, totally.
then I love this. I was like talking up Vader, like, well, Lord Vader sent them to this planet specifically, and his
Okay,
judgment
and
is
I feel
impeccable.
like every time that this actor is specifically talking about Vader and his fucking hatred of Vader, that's when he goes full Jackson, right? Like that's when he's most
Hmm.
like the on-screen character.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So we have so then we have like the Darth Vader rant by Windu here, where he's basically saying, "Oh, you mean the traitor? You mean Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker? It's selfish Brad." This is like, have we ever checked in with Mace Windu on the way down from the fall? This probably would have been going through his head. Yeah,
Pretty much,
that
yeah.
selfish Hayden Christensen looking brat. He was slaughtered, slaughtered all the younglings, like slaughtered innocent school of younglings, his Jedi brethren. He pushed to nigh extinction. That Vader. Now, this gag is my favorite part of the whole thing. By the way, to me, it's just hilarious. So he's just directing this rhetorical question. That Vader, and you have the Notarile stormtrooper shrug his shoulders. Yeah, I mean, I guess like how many? It's just that little short, like a stormtrooper doing the shrug, just
I feel
cracks
like
me
that's
up.
just a very like it's kind of like just using like slow motion or something. It's just like a very low hanging fruit with the Star Wars fan film comedy, but it works, man. It
Yeah,
works.
it's just the fact, honestly, folks, at the end of the day, stormtroopers doing anything mundane is funny. That's
Yeah.
ultimately what it
Oh,
boils down
totally,
to.
totally,
Just the fact that,
absolutely.
because we've always played them in the dramatic, soldier light, just the fact, like, again, that's why one of the great things about Force Awakens is, okay, we added dimension to a stormtrooper. We actually
Uh-huh.
applied, like, almost like Gary, yeah, again, Gary the stormtrooper from Robot Chicken. It's a
Dragon, they
patented
gave
formula.
dimension to a stormtrooper, and then they gave him like a clear path for a trilogy wide arc.
Yeah.
Pause for silence because that didn't work. All right, I'm done. I'm done
Anyway,
lampshading on Star Wars
yeah,
sequels.
point being, I think we left.
Gaslighting, not lampshading. Jesus.
I don't
What
know.
the fuck?
I don't know if you're using gaslighting right in that context either, but
I'm probably not, honestly.
yeah, gaslighting's like a whole different. Anyway,
No,
point being,
You're right. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about
okay, the
anymore.
point
I'm
being, Gary the
sorry.
Stormtrooper would be the superior version of that. We're not going to dwell on Gary the Stormtrooper right now. The point being, just the shrug is this. The shrug is funny. So like, I mean, I guess. I mean, how many other Vaders are there? It's just kind of implying that with the shrug. It's like, I mean, yeah. Anyway, so then we have like the coded threat in the dialogue between the two, which is very Sam Jackson, the thing he did all the time in Tarantino films, and again plays wonderfully with the Christoph Waltz of it all here, where it's like, so this Jedi Master Mace Windu, so he's like one of the if he is like one of the most feared names, and I'm sorry, I'm rearranging which character said what here. Essentially, Mace Windu saying he is a Jedi Master Mace Windu, like the most feared names in Sith history. He died on Coruscant. So this is a fool's errand, a waste of Vader's time. If I were you, I'd turn around and let me be, and that'll be the end of it. Pretty much saying, guys, you know who I am. Don't make me kill you.
Right, right.
So then, I love this too. Just the whole just again, kind of our Waltzian kind of imp here is saying like, I take it this Master Jedi Mace Windu, he wouldn't surrender without a fight, would he? So of course, that begs the question. Now this is a really good callback to his love is like the proof in the pudding. This Mace Windu, he suffered an injury on Coruscant. Lord Vader cut off his right hand. Basically, that's proof in the pudding. So show me your right hand. and that'll be the proof. And of course, he pulls up, gives him a little wave with the robot hand, but he's wearing the black glove like Luke did.
Dragon, this is such cool, like, like fan filmmaking where it's like, of course they're not going to be able to afford a real robot hand, but we get all we need to know with the glove. It's like we pretty much can put the pieces together in our own mind.
Yeah, worked in Return of the Jedi. Why not now?
Right, right.
Anyway, so could you? And this is funny. There's like, can you remove your glove? And this is like a Mace Windu almost saying,
total Christoph Waltz. Yeah.
Could you remove your glove?
God.
It says, my hand gets cold easily. It's like the lamest excuse. And, and that's pretty much him, just kind of in the nicest way. Just
that to me is almost like more of a Wes Anderson line, to tell you the truth. Like just a very sarcastic, just like dry delivery.
Sure. All right, so then we have kind of like the stare down shots, and these stare down shots are honestly they are like a little bit Wes Anderson, but a little bit mostly Tarantino. There's like we have like kind of the shots we kind of like we're focusing on them just kind of looking at each other, particularly when we cut back to the Waltz, kind of our Waltz-ish character. Here, where it's like a little stare down shot of like, is this the path you want to take? I can ask you the same question. Oh boy, and then we have Mace Windu is dead. Let it be. No, but he will be. So, like surrender now or die, Jedi. Where do you stand? And with the music playing, and this is great. We have like kind of a slow mo build here, as we're basically doing the Tarantino build to the violence. And again, I like that we built to the violence. It wasn't just like
totally.
Well,
yeah, I mean, if they literally could not call this a Tarantino thing if it was just like, hey, we're just going to go to the violence right away without a conversation.
We can't just light people on fire willy-nilly. We have to set it up.
It's like sex without foreplay, Dragon.
Yeah, we got to set up the flamethrower.
Exactly.
Anyway, so let's see. We have like this great build up. They get like the build up to the instantaneous quick draw action of a Western, where it's like, oh boy, he's going for that purple lightsaber, and it's like, oh god, he does it, and we have like instant death to one of the stormtroopers who gives a Wilhelm scream, which is perfect. Then then the other guy, and then he essentially gut shots via the lightsaber, kind of gut slashes the Imperial officer, the Christoph Waltz Imperial officer. So again, added layer of Tarantino violence, something you never see in Star Wars. After the guy's gutted, he's bleeding, from the mouth. Add a little blood in Star Wars. All right. So, anyways, let's see. So we see, basically Mace Windu saying, the Empire, Vader's Anakin Skywalker's days are numbered. You're on the wrong side of history. Not that you'll live to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So then Waltzy here is essentially saying, Vader will have your head on a platter. If he's lucky enough to find me, he can try, and he walks off. So again, that could have been a credits moment. Like, could have ended here. That would have been.
Yeah.
So it's like, it feels like there's a happy and there's a sad cut of this. And this is the happy cut would have been, and Mace Windu walks off and we play some cool music, and he's walking on his way. But oh no, we have enter into the dark Act 2.
So, Dragon, I described the music that Chris plays here as basically the Imperial March remixed as the Jaws theme.
I mean, pretty much. I mean,
it's meant to just like draw suspense, like, oh, he's here, he's coming. Duh, 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 duh.
I love that he went the haunting route with it, though, where it's now the booming dun dun dun.
Yeah, I think it really works.
Like kind of the piano chimes of it all, like the Yeah, really nice. Anyway, so we have this artful. Basically, we have this kind of the second artful idea of destiny coming for these two men who have unfinished business with each other in the form of Darth Vader, where basically Mace Windu. Basically, to me, the vibe is that Mace Windu was destined to die, and he didn't. And this was like a day-long coming for him, where by some miracle he survived to see the state of the galaxy and like what happens to the rest of the Jedi. Where he was like the Vader turning on him and everything. That was the huge turning point that he was a part of with history. So this is basically like Vader, like kind of like stomping out like the last little hanging Chad from his past. So again, I love like the haunting, again the haunting quality of the music here, and how we're shooting Vader. So by the way, Vader played by one of the great Blinky production alumni, Tom Popovsky.
Yes, yes, I love this casting, and I especially love that they indeed do the James Earl Jones route of having someone else do the voice. But man, it's like we've all seen Tom, like be very visually physically intimidating and also very funny and wacky at the same time, like very versatile player in the Blinky 500 playbook.
Yeah, we've seen him as Thomas Wayne Batman, we've seen him as the Tick, and we've seen him more importantly as Powdered Toast Man.
I honestly think Powdered Toast Man might be his definitive role in my eyes.
I mean, yeah, it's
just because it's just an out there concept for a fan film,
It is. So regardless, if I recall from when we've talked to both of these guys, I believe they met where Tom had the Darth Vader suit, basically like Chris Notarile.
Oh, nice.
Remember, I think this is like, I know they met. I'm pretty sure this is how they met, where he put out the casting call for Vader, and like you said, hey, I got a Vader suit. Can I do it? Probably auditioned him and everything, and that's why he looks so darn imposing in that. He's like a big guy in the like another Dave Prowse in the Vader suit, man.
Totally,
it's not just someone wearing a Darth Vader costume. It's like it's a physical actor in the Vader costume. So so Vader he chokes kind of our Christoph Waltz just like strangles him with the Force choke. As again, there's that entrance for Vader. It's like, oh boy, Vader, he ain't no loyalty. And that guy was like talking up Vader in like the best sense, like, oh, he just killed him in the end too. All right, so then we enter official. Like, I assume everything else was like around Bronson Kane. We are officially in the Batcave during this encounter. This is the Batcave.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Which I love that.
You know what else is crazy is that I kind of feel like there is some Bane in the way that Vader is portrayed.
A little bit. There's a little bit of the whole like, you merely adopted the Dark.
Right, exactly.
A little bit, but of course the irony being Popovsky, he's kind of fated to be involved with Batman because again he's in Bronson Kane. He's been in here when he's in the Thomas Wayne fan film in this cave. Every time he keeps ending up in this cave, and I like that. So, they're supposed to do another. Notarile was supposed to shoot here again, but I believe because of the pandemic, he was not able to shoot here. So it's that's why his Batman film got shelved, at least for the time being. But anyway, so we have a shot. I like how we framed the entrance to the cave here. Tell me if this gave you some deja vu. I think it's framed similarly to Luke and Vader when they kind of went up against each other in Return of the Jedi, where you had like Luke kind of hanging around the catwalks in the shadows as Vader saying, "I'm going to go after your sister, turn her to the dark side." That whole thing.
I can see it, yeah, a little bit.
I think a little bit in the framing. I don't know. So again, cool lighting contrast. Love that we're in like the cool darkness of the cave, and we were in like kind of the bright heat of the outside. So light side, dark side. Vader's entered. We're in the cave. We're in the dark side. So we got these two guys in the same room. They haven't seen each other since Revenge of the Sith, since the big moment happened. And they one has an axe to grind, the other one has unfinished business. I got to kill this guy, and I want to kill this guy.
Yeah, so I love how Anakin just comes out like, "Hello, old friend," and Obi-Wan ain't having. Or I'm sorry, not Obi-Wan. My God, Mace Windu, he ain't having none of that shit, Dragon. He ain't having none of that shit.
This is like a Sam Jackson line. I'm not your brother. I'm not your neighbor. I'm not your friend.
He's not fucking around with this. He ain't got time for pleasantries. He's not a Christoph Waltz.
And this is, and again, with the Jedi thing I was going with, this kind of occurred to me now. Like, this is Vader's kind of tactic in these situations where he's trying to get under a Jedi's skin, where he's going to tough talk him while he's hiding. Saying, "Then you're a coward. Then cowards choose the dark side over the light. Becoming a Sith. Only a coward hides in shadows. Face me and finish what I started. Bum bum bum. I'll cut your hand off, punk." Anyway, it's the layman's interpretation of it. Anyway, so and then we have this really great line that precedes the action where he says, "Only one of us is going to leave this cave alive." Oh boy, just
and when you hear that, it's like, okay, like we obviously know that Vader is going to be around for longer than this. So
again, it's like the Better Call Saul thing where the prequel.
You basic first grade math, kids. How's this equation going to turn out?
Well, again, this is the prequel math that shows like Better Call Saul excel at that you wish the prequels kind of did a little better at here, where we're kind of getting a taste of what that might.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil. Like there is one specific thing with Better Call Saul that recently happened that is on my mind, as far as like one character is in the room that clearly all the other people live on. You know what I'm talking about?
But you see, exactly, and that's my point, though. It's the fact that sometimes, and again, I think what we're doing here, that is the best way you tackle any prequel story is like, okay, well, we know where it ends up. We know the answers. We know certain characters are not going to be in jeopardy, but tricking the audience into like buying into that tension, or if they do know, like praying like romantically in a romantic sense, like in the historic romantic sense that you're hoping something will not happen. We're hoping that maybe he will survive when it's just not in the cards, that sort of thing. So I think he really achieved. I think he pulled that hat trick off rather well, like the way it should be done in a prequel story. So, we have like Anakin Skywalker is dead, and you're gonna join. Really good tough guy lines. Anyway, so they battle, really well choreographed lightsaber fight. Fighty fight with the lightsabers. They'll turn, they'll throw them against the rocks with the Force. Then we have the MVP moment of the whole thing for me. I think the best thing where I'm like, yes, Notarile, this is how you do a lightsaber battle, man. What he did at the end, where Mace Windu, when we know that he's losing, that he's about to lose, and like all the audio is kind of gone except for the score, and then Vader's breathing. Like that's how I want to see a lightsaber fight done again, man.
No, I'm really glad you bring that up, because I really do feel like this lightsaber fight in particular is pretty much kind of like the modern day equivalent to like the Obi-Wan Anakin fight.
Yeah, I mean,
not the Revenge of the Sith one, the New Hope one.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, honestly, what it kind of speaks to me at a little
Dragon,
bit.
Oddly enough, the Northmen of all movies had a fight that was very reminiscent of the Episode 3 fight with the lava and everything.
I mean, in terms of, again, what really kind of has me jazz my mind with this, with the whole, like, how we kind of stripped away the audio and kind of pumped up kind of the ambiance and the feeling, is it's kind of like a precursor to what we did with Luke on Mandalorian, with his big entrance. It's a little bit, it's a little reminiscent of that, but you're right, though. I mean, primarily in terms of the situation itself and how it, ultimately kind of the tragedy of all, it is very Obi-Wan from New Hope. Yeah, for sure. So again, I love the weight of Mace Windu. He's losing the fight, try as he might to win, and just the realization that for you, the audience, that he's not winning this. We know he's not going to win this. So it's like, oh no! If it hasn't dawned on you already, it's like, oh, Vader's just getting more and more powerful in this fight, and symbolically, and this is where this is like the chef's kiss moment, Diggy. It's like where symbolically, as he did years ago in Revenge of the Sith, he is stabbed in the back by
totally.
Before he was stabbed in the back by, well, more like his hand was cut off and tossed out a window, but he was betrayed by Anakin Skywalker, stabbed in the back, and now he was
metaphorically stabbed in the back, and now he's literally being stabbed in the back
by Darth Vader. So yeah, just awesome.
Dragon, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
And you're probably wondering, how can it get any better than that? How can we take that symbolism and make it a jaunty ending? Here's how we do that. Farewell, Jedi. And as Vader leaves, the cape flowing as it tends to do, as like Mace Windu sits there in the light, dying on the light side, having been stabbed in the back. We play the OJ's Backstabbers song.
Yeah, that's perfect needle drop.
Perfect choice.
Fucking perfect needle drop.
Yeah.
Very, very Tarantino-esque needle drop right there.
Just perfect.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up, Dragon. I think we did a really good coverage of this from top to bottom. I think we pretty much analyzed everything we could. I think it's really impressive that this is like the one major Star Wars fan film in the Blinky500 catalog. I feel like that makes it more special.
I want to say it's the only one, but I'm just afraid I'm going to say, oh wait, he did another one, but I'm pretty sure this is the only. To my knowledge,
the only one. Asterisk.
To my knowledge, this is the only one he's done it, which again speaks like he wanted to save it for something special and ended up being something special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, it is definitely going to be a crazy week on the channel. We're going to take the next couple days off. This will be going up. I'm going to be advertising this. We're technically recording this midnight of May the 4th, but I'll be promoting it throughout the day tomorrow. And then next couple days, we're going to be having off because Multiverse of Madness is coming out. But then, alas, we'll be talking about the Moon Knight finale on Friday. We'll be doing the Multiverse of Madness spoiler cast on Sunday. So a lot of Marvel stuff coming up. Big Marvel-centric week this week.
Yeah, well, again, Moon Knight might be coming at you earlier, but we'll point being Moon Knight's coming this week.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you're singling that out. All right.
Yeah. So the point being, so we have
just in case.
We got a load of Marvel for you, folks. We got some Moon Knight, we got some Doctor Strange 2, and of course some Better Call Saul.
Oh yes, of course, Better Call Saul as well.
How could I forget? It's going to be a solid week, kids. So buckle up.
All right. Have a good one, everyone. See you later.
May the Force be with you, and the Fourth while we're at it.